Welcome to the Ben Mulroney Show on this Tuesday. Thank you very much for joining us. And thank you wherever we find you, whether it be on the traditional route of the old-fashioned radio box, or you might be listening on a streaming app on your phone, or you might be listening in podcast form on all the major podcast platforms. But now we're also on YouTube, so you get to enjoy this whenever you like. All right, so I've always been a fan of Question Period. I think the theater is cool, but there's actual real substance that comes out of it. It makes people think. There's not always value in the interactions that we see on at Question Period, but as we are going through crisis after crisis, and Mark Carney is dealing with a lot. He does have a lot on his plate. Sometimes you got to stop and actually have conversations about these things to appreciate and understand what is going on. And here is Liberal Cabinet Minister Chrystia Freeland going toe-to-toe with Conservative MP Jacob Mantle over what exactly Mark Carney's housing plan is all about.
We can get a modular housing industry going in our country. Exactly. That is one of the solutions to the housing crisis. I hope the members opposite will be constructive and support this important legislation.
Honourable member for York Durham.
Mr. Speaker, my generation refuses to live in a shipping container.
Okay, there's a lot of directions we can go here with this. But the first one just struck me for the first time listening to Chrystia Freeland. We do have a modular housing industry in this country. So for Chrystia Freeland to say we can get one going, well, we have one. And we certainly don't need a new government agency called Build Canada, which will be made up, I'm sure, of thousands of new bureaucrats to help create an industry we already have. So that's the first point. The second point is I know people who want to live in modular homes, and I know people who want to live in shipping container homes. The best versions of those are awesome. Awesome. Architecturally beautiful, thought-provoking, great. I do not trust the government to build one that I would want to live in of either variety. I don't trust the government to do a lot of stuff. Lots of ways that the government can help with housing. But if you concede we already have a modular housing industry, then just help that. We on the Ben Mulroney Show love to wrestle with the idea of what makes a national consensus. We know that for some reason Mark Carney will never say pipelines full stop. It's always pipelines ... if there is a national consensus to build one. Well, Pierre Poilievre jumped into the conversation about that very question yesterday.
If you wait till everybody agrees on everything, nothing will happen. You're never going to get everybody to agree on every single project. And bottom line is we're giving 90% of our oil and 100% of our gas to the Americans at enormous price discounts. This is costing us tens of billions of dollars every single year to the exclusive benefit of American refineries and commodity traders who are able to take our product, bid up the price by $15 and sell it on the world stage, and do that literally about 1 billion times a year. And that is insane. So we can't wait any longer. We have to get things done, and it's going to take some backbone. And so we as Conservatives believe in pushing ahead with pipelines, and the shortest route is to the Pacific. Any other route is going to be even harder politically and physically. So we need a pipeline to the Pacific, and if the Prime Minister says he's going to wait till everyone agrees, then nothing will get done.
And that's the problem. That's why I need clarification from the Prime Minister. I need somebody to ask him, and I've said this before, I will continue to beat this drum. Somebody with a microphone needs to shove it in the Prime Minister's face and say, what constitutes a consensus? If the polls tell you that the majority of people in, say, British Columbia support a pipeline, but the Premier says he doesn't, who's right? And if British Columbia or Quebec is the only holdout, do you, Mr. Prime Minister, recognize that it is incumbent upon you to lead the charge to create that consensus? And are you willing to do that? Or are you simply going to throw up your hands and say, oh, well, Quebec doesn't want it, so we can't build it? Because that is not leadership in a federation. Leadership in a federation is recognizing that these are issues of national importance and doing the hard work to get to a yes. I think a lot of us were happy to see Stephen Gilbo removed from the environment file because, you know, he was a Greenpeace activist. And I've said before, activists make terrible politicians, because they see the world through a keyhole as opposed to how can we create broad consensus. And he was moved to another file, heritage minister. And I thought, okay, at least he's in a place where he can't do any more harm. Well, my God, I didn't realize it. The Bond villain ability of Stephen Gilbo to stick his nose into saving the environment, in his mind, knows no bounds. On her radio show, her weekly radio show, Danielle Smith, the Premier of Alberta, pointed out that Stephen Gilbo, in his role as heritage minister, is looking to build federal national parks all over Alberta in an attempt to stop any ability to get pipelines built. This is Bond-level villain craziness. And so she said that under no circumstances would she allow any of those to be put in her in the province of Alberta. I got to give the guy credit. Like, no matter what he does, he can find a way to overstep and encroach his rights and position. I never thought that the heritage minister would have more power on the environment file than the environment minister, but that is the world we are living in. Another world we're living in is the fact that the National Holocaust Memorial in Ottawa was vandalized with red paint. And what was even more disgusting is the people rushing to normalize this on social media. People who present as journalists and fact checkers saying just awful, awful things. I've said it before, guys. This is who we are now. This is what we have allowed to fester and metastasize and turn into something that I don't know how we excise this tumor, because we let it grow. And it happened on the watch of a great many politicians. This is on them. This is on them to own. This is their shame. This is their burden. I don't want to own it, but I will fight it. So thank you very much. More with the Ben Mulroney Show when we come back. Thanks so much for watching the show. Now, if you enjoyed what you saw, hit that subscribe button so you never miss another episode of the Ben Mulroney Show.